Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the career illustrator known as Reza Afshar, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at the steampunk subgenre of science fiction. We're also going to explore the stages of an empire from the Green Age all the way to the Dark Age. So let's just jump right into it. So at first sight, we see what appears to be this vast and open industrial landscape. It no doubt overwhelms the viewer at this first impression. Of course, the towers just reach high to the crimson sky, far out of view here. One of the first things I notice, of course, next to the use of color here is a use of space. We see as if we've stumbled upon this site and it just dwarfs us instantly right. We also see a border which frames the composition at hand and kind of contains the site within. The next thing I notice, of course, is a use of color here. We see gold, we see yellow, we see orange and red, all of which remind of an intense, fiery, and intense incandescent flame. So, of course, within this work, there's an immense amount of energy that's provided by that, right? There are a lot of curves within this composition as well, from the smoke, which kind of billows, kind of reminiscent of natural gas, so all of which give an incredible sense of motion to this composition. You may also notice a sense of texture here, right? It is quite reminiscent of kind of a woodblock print, if you will, and of course we see that quite clearly. There is this hatching or cross-hatching that is quite reminiscent of the traditional medium of expression. This is a digital illustration, so of course it is digitally illustrated or illustrated on a screen, but regardless, you can see the echoes of traditional mediums within the work at hand. And I wanted to ask you guys, how do y'all feel when you first view this composition? Here we stand in witness of the city of Archedium. Of course, this is no doubt a science fiction landscape, and it is most reminiscent of the steampunk subgenre. The steampunk typically works with gears, it works with, smoke and things of an industrial nature. I think we certainly see that within here, but it's not quite what you would traditionally see as steampunk. It brings in this heavy fantasy element. Of course, we have this palace of some kind or another. There are also these spaceships, so it is no doubt a work of science fiction. And, we see this lone subject within this work, and it's hard to say who or what this subject is, but regardless, it almost appears that we're following this lone subject, right? We are right behind this figure, and we are kind of in witness or in discovery of the city of Archedium alongside this subject as well. And on that topic, I have a few different variations of the city of Archedium going from the Green Age to the Middle Age to the Dark Age. I'm going to bring those in real quick and see what we can learn here. All right, so I brought in two additional works here. We have the Green Age, the Middle Age, and the Dark Age of Archedium. Of course, today we're studying the Dark Age, but I just wanted to bring in two additional works to really discover the true story behind this immense empire. And so in the Green Age, for example, you see what is reminiscent of life, right? That emerald green, that blue, of course, water and leaves, quite reminiscent of flourishing of life. There are also two subjects within that composition. It is known as a very bright and lively canvas, and you can see it at its absolute height. We go over to the middle work, the Middle Ages. You can see this sense of decay, especially that red streak in the center of the composition. I think that's pretty important here. And then, of course, moving to the Dark Age, the one which we study today, it is quite dark, it is quite intense, and kind of reminds of a downfall as everything is just burning or going to hell. But regardless, I want to bring in these two additional works to talk about the city of Archedium. Of course, in all three instances, you have this massive moon or planetary body of some kind or another. Of course, that shows that consistency through each instance of this great and vast empire. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do y'all see when you view this composition, or what comes to mind when you look at the city of Archedium? Even when you look at those, Green Age, the Middle Age compared to the Dark Age, what comes to mind? And there is no doubt this work is quite reminiscent of hell or the underworld, right? There is a fire, there is an intense amount of red within this composition. It feels dangerous. It feels like that blood red, that fire which burns absolutely everything. But regardless, the tale of Archedium has only just begun. We see the towers reaching high to the crimson sky, but there's a lot of story and backstory behind this great empire. I really hope y'all enjoyed today. Like I said, the work before us is a digital illustration, so painstakingly illustrated, drawn upon, and even painted upon a screen here to create this absolutely stunning work. This was purchased on the super rare art market within the Ethereum blockchain for a price of 2.5 Ether. And so this is already purchased. This is held by someone on the Ethereum blockchain, and we absolutely love to bring in NFTs within here. Of course, allowing artists to really mint their work within containers, which can be bought, sold, and traded. But yeah, like I said, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things, from a sense of texture here, the sense of energy. We talked about the curves of motion. We talked about the dark ages, the green ages, and the middle ages of this great empire of Archedium. Really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all enjoyed, go check out the original artist Reza Afshar, doing some amazing stuff in multiple different mediums, from video games to animation, of course illustration as well. He is a career concept artist, but also a freelance one at that. So if y'all enjoyed, go check out the original artist and support his work. It's really always a pleasure to study him. My name's Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.